Easter year. And here it's going to be on Yud Av, the 10th of Av, the day after Tisha B'Av, where there's still some restrictions with regards to the laws of mourning because of the destruction of the two Bet HaMikdashes. It's a Hilula of a great Turkish and Libyan rabbi. His name was Rabbi Masud Rakkah. Really great rabbi he was. He was born actually in English year 1690 and passed away in English year 1768 on the 10th of Av. This is on Motzei Tisha B'Av, let's just say. He was born in Izmir. He came from great heritage also. His father was Rabbi Aaron Rakkah also. And we're going to relate a lot about with regards to history of the great Hacham. It could be spelled different ways also in English. Rakkah or Raccah, his family name could. But Be'ezmeh, he was a great Sephardi Hacham. He was also Shluchei D'Rabbanan, a rabbinical emissary. And he would actually lead the 18th century Jewish community of Tripoli, Libya, for a period of 20 years. He was considered one of the great rabbis of Libya in Jewish history and set a foundation for the community development over there and he became one of the great sages, scribes, and great Kabbalists of the area, respectively. He actually became the author of a really great book, the Masud, and a 4-volume commentary on Maimonides, Mishnah, Torah, respectively. Okay, so Rav Masud Rakkah was born in an area called Smayma. This is based in Turkey. I think it's an ancient Greek city located at, let's say, a strategic point of the Aegean coast of Anatolia, if I'm not mistaken, over there. It's actually, and there's a Judaica encyclopedia actually says that he likely descended from the Rakkah family of Venice. I think there was a very great family over there. And he married the daughter of Isaac Rakkah, if I'm not mistaken, also, which maybe we should speak about him on another video also. In his youth, he studied under the great Rabbi Yitzchak HaKohen Rappaport. And now we've spoken about Rabbi Rappaport also before. He would actually later on become a Rishon LeZion of Israel, a chief rabbi, and he actually I believe he was from actually Ashkenazic descent himself, but he very much studied in Turkey and became one of the great Turkish rabbis and became Rishon LeZion itself. So really, really great rabbi he had. He also learned from the great Rabbi Chaim Abulafia, also was another great rabbi, rabbinical authority, and was actually the grandfather of Chaim ben David Abulafia, which is very, very interesting also of itself. And he actually developed into a great Talmid Chacham. He emigrated to Jerusalem, eventually made Aliyah to Israel, and went with Rabbi Rappaport, who would later on become the Rishon LeZion of Israel also. And it's actually interesting, when the Jewish Jerusalem community, they experienced, there was hardships economically at that point in time, it dispatched a Shluchei D'Rabbanan to collect funds from the Jewish diaspora. And Rabbi Rakkah was chosen to travel to the communities, especially in North Africa, and all the communities over there. He went, I think he was going to travel to Tunisia, Morocco, and Libya, which that was his itinerary, his schedule. And remember, this was a prominent role. Usually the top rabbis would become shluchei d'Rabbanan, and it would provide chizuk, strengthening the communities where they would go, not just to raise funds for Israel itself, but will really imbue Torah in those places, improve Yahadut, Jewish education in those places. And you needed top rabbis. So usually the great rabbis of Jerusalem would actually go and travel to these places. It was a very prominent role in of itself. So he was chosen, and I believe that when he arrived actually in Tripoli in Libya, he sent letters to the communities of Venice and Livorno before visiting them as well. Those places in itself had a great Torah scholarship and a great Jewish community at the time. He arrived in Venice in the year 1729. So at that stage in time, he would have been close to 40 years of age, and he stayed there for 2 years. He then next traveled to Livorno over there, and he was there for 5-year tenure between 1731 to 1736. And then he actually was, while he was there, he served over there as one of the city's leaders at that stage in time. Very, very prominent role for a Jewish community and really strengthening the Judaism in that specific area. And then actually it's interesting, he went then the Libyan Jewish community at that time, it wasn't so strong, let's just say spiritually. And Rabbi Rakkah came to Tripoli, I believe, soon after, at one stage after, and the community leaders asked him to stay and lead them at that point in time. I think it was in the year 1749, if I'm not mistaken. Rabbi Rakkah actually agreed and was appointed the Av Bet Din there, the head of the Jewish court, head of the rabbinical court over there. And he was installed the chief rabbi of Tripoli, a very, very prominent position. He opened the yeshiva, was reported over in Tripoli, and exerted a really great, a powerful influence on the Jewish people of Libya. Rabbi Rakkah, actually interesting enough, was considered one of Libya's leading rabbis. It's actually interesting. He trained students, Talmidim, who became the future rabbis and Dayanim, the rabbinical judges of North African Jewry, including among galaxy of Talmidei Chachamim, including Rabbi Natan Adadi, who became a great Kabbalist in Tripoli also, which is very interesting. Also Rabbi Shalom Flus, also Rabbi Moshe Lachmish, Rabbi Binyamin Vaturi, and Rabbi David Tayyar, including many, many great rabbis also. Rabbi Rakkah's descendants further would go on to build the Jewish community in Libya even to a greater level, included his great-grandson, Rabbi Avram Haim Adadi, also who would become an Av Bet Din and senior rabbi in the 19th century in Tripoli. Hopefully we'll speak about him at a later stage. And I think his great-grandson, Rabbi Jacob Rakkah, he became a leading Sephardic posek and an author of 40 Sefarim, I believe, during the 19th century, also in Libya, respectively. Rabbi Rakkah served he was the head of the Libyan community for a 20-year tenure and passed away on July the 24th in the English year 1768. This was precisely on Yud Av. He was 78 years of age, and he was buried in Tripoli. Yud Ab, as we stated before, because I'm recording this at the time of Tisha B'Av itself, there's many restrictions which we put on ourselves, just like on Tisha B'Av, like within regards to laundry and so on and so forth. I dedicated the video within regards to those laws. So now let's explore some of the great Torah works that he wrote. He wrote a lot of colossal Torah works also. So let's explore some of them. So including he saw, I think, the Masud Rakkah, the publication of the first volume, I think, and commentary on Maimonides of Mishnah Torah. It was in Venice in the year 1742 to 1743. I think volume 2 was published by his great-grandson, Rabbi Avram Chaim Adadi, and this was printed in Livorno in the year 1862, way after he passed away. Remember, Livorno had a very strong printing press, I believe, and Torah printing press. Volume 3 was also published in Livorno a year later by Rabbi Jacob Rakkah, in the year 1863. Volume 4 was published in Jerusalem as late as 1964 by Rabbi Shmuel Akiva Yaffa Schleisinger, if I'm not mistaken. 1964, we're talking about 60 years ago this was. The inscription on Rabbi Rakkah's gravestone appears at the beginning of Volume 4. It's actually interesting. Rabbi Rakkah's novel on the Gemara itself, the Talmud, the commentary on the 5 Megillot, and drashot of sermons only remained in handwritten manuscripts. It's reported over that some of it might have been lost or not, but if anyone has the whereabouts or any information about it, I really appreciate if anyone can let me know within regards to that. So Yud Aleph is his Lula. We talked about some of his descendants, including Rabbi Jacob Rakkah, Rabbi Natan Adadi, Rabbi Avram Kalfon was also another one of his descendants. Rabbi Avram Kalfon was another great rabbi. I think he actually was born himself in 1735 and passed away in 1819, and he became a great rabbi also in Tripoli, respectively, in Libya. Also Rabbi Sholem Plos, Rabbi David Tayyar, and Rabbi Moshe Lachmayish, and Rabbi Binyamin Vaturi were also great rabbis. So please, everyone, light candles in the great rabbi's memory also, and let's learn more about the great rabbanim of yesteryear over here. Very much was one of the great rabbis in Libyan Jewish history. Wishing you all a great day, and take care, and maybe we see the rebuilding of the Bet HaMikdash ASAP. Bezrat Hashem.